Picture a sleepy English farmyard. Pigs snuffling in the mud, hens pecking at the dirt, horses grazing peacefully in the meadow. It feels safe, doesn't it? Familiar, like the setting of a comforting childhood fable. But beneath the surface of this charming rural scene, a violent revolution is brewing.
All animals are equal, but some animals are more equal than others.
It is one of the most famous and chilling lines in all of English literature. Hello and welcome. I'm your Director of Studies, and today we're diving into a book that disguised itself as a fairy tale, but was actually a literary hand grenade. George Orwell's Animal Farm. If you've ever felt like the people in charge are twisting the truth or changing the rules to suit themselves, then this story is going to resonate. Published in 1945, Animal Farm is an allegory. On the surface, it's a story about mistreated farm animals who rise up, kick out their drunken human master, and try to run the farm themselves. But just below that surface, it's a devastating critique of the Russian Revolution and a warning about how quickly a utopian dream can rot into a totalitarian nightmare.
Orwell even subtitled the book, A Fairy Story. But make no mistake, there are no fairies here. Only tyrants in pig's clothing. Over the next 15 minutes, we're going to explore the core themes of Animal Farm, the intoxicating nature of power, the weaponization of language, and the tragic betrayal of the working class. Let's head down to the Manor Farm.
Every revolution starts with a dream. In Animal Farm, that dream is sparked by Old Major, a prize-winning boar who gathers the animals in the big barn to share a vision.
Man is the only creature that consumes without producing. He does not give milk. He does not lay eggs. He is too weak to pull the plough. Yet he is lord of all the animals.
Old Major represents Karl Marx, the father of communism, and partly Vladimir Lenin. He introduces a philosophy called animalism, a system where there are no masters, where animals keep the fruits of their own labour, and where everyone is equal. They even have an anthem, Beasts of England, which fills the animals with wild, utopian hope. The rebellion happens almost by accident. Mr. Jones, the drunken, negligent farmer, who stands in for Russia's Tsar Nicholas II, forgets to feed the animals. They break into the store shed. Jones and his men whip them, and the animals simply snap. They chase the humans off the farm. They've won! Manor Farm is renamed Animal Farm. The tools of oppression, the whips, the bits, the nose rings, are thrown down the well. And the pigs, who are the cleverest animals, paint the 7 commandments of animalism on the barn wall. Whatever goes upon 2 legs is an enemy. No animal shall wear clothes. No animal shall sleep in a bed. No animal shall drink alcohol. No animal shall kill any other animal. All animals are equal. It's a beautiful vision. For a brief moment, the farm is a paradise. The harvest is the biggest they've ever had. But Orwell knew his history. He knew that destroying the old regime is the easy part. Building a fair society to replace it, that's where the trouble starts. And the first sign of trouble doesn't look like violence. It looks like milk and apples.
Soon after the rebellion, the cows are milked, and the early windfall apples ripen. The animals assume these treats will be shared equally, but they vanish. Where do they go? Into the pig's mash.
It is for your sake that we drink that milk and eat those apples. Do you know what would happen if we pigs failed in our duty? Jones would come back.
That is Squealer, Napoleon's propaganda chief. This is the turning point. The pigs claim special privileges, not by force, but by manipulating the fears of the other animals. Our first theme, power and corruption. There are two leading pigs, Snowball, brilliant and idealistic, representing Leon Trotsky, and Napoleon, quiet, ruthless and scheming, representing Joseph Stalin. Snowball wants to build a windmill to provide electricity and ease the animals' labour. Napoleon opposes it. The debate comes to a head. Snowball is winning the crowd. Napoleon unleashes 9 massive, fierce dogs he has secretly raised from puppies. They chase Snowball off the farm forever. From this moment on, the democratic dream is dead. Napoleon ends the Sunday meetings. The pigs move into the farmhouse.
The revolution has eaten its own children.
This brings us to Orwell's second brilliant theme, the weaponization of language. Orwell was obsessed with how politicians twist words to hide terrible truths, and Squealer is the ultimate spin doctor. As the pigs start behaving like the humans they replaced, they begin breaking the 7 commandments. But instead of admitting it, they literally rewrite history. Under the cover of darkness, Squealer takes a paintbrush to the barn wall.
No animal shall sleep in a bed with sheets. No animal shall drink alcohol to excess. No animal shall kill any other animal without cause. Do you see what Orwell is doing here? The animals think they remember the rules differently, but they can't read well enough to prove it. Squealer gaslights an entire farm. He bombards them with confusing statistics to prove they are thriving, even as they starve. Orwell is warning us. If you do not have a grip on language and history, those in power will rewrite reality itself.
If the pigs represent the corrupt leadership, who represents the ordinary, hard-working people of Russia? The people who bled for the revolution, only to be crushed by it.
That would be Boxer.
Boxer is an enormous cart horse. He is not very clever, but he is fiercely loyal, deeply kind, and possesses the strength of 3 ordinary horses. When things get tough, when the windmill is blown down, when food rations are slashed, Boxer only has 2 maxims.
I will work harder. And Napoleon is always right.
Boxer works himself to the bone to build the pig's windmill. He hauls boulders until his hooves bleed. He is the heart and soul of Animal Farm. And how does Napoleon reward his greatest, most loyal worker when Boxer's lungs finally collapse and he can no longer pull his weight? He sells him to the horse slaughterer. It is one of the most heartbreaking betrayals in literature. The animals run alongside the van, yelling for Boxer to kick his way out. But his strength is gone. A few days later, Squealer tearfully announces that Boxer died peacefully in a hospital, praising Napoleon with his last breath. But the pigs mysteriously find the money to buy themselves a new crate of whiskey. They literally drank Boxer's blood. The tragedy of Animal Farm isn't just that the revolution failed. It's that the new bosses became exactly the same as the old bosses. Which leads us to the terrifying final scene.
Years have passed. The farm is richer, but the animals are poorer. And then, the animals hear a strange sound from the farmhouse. The pigs are walking on 2 legs. The pigs invite the neighbouring human farmers over for a dinner party. The other animals peer through the window. They watch the pigs and the humans drinking together, playing cards, laughing. A fight breaks out over a cheating hand. The creatures outside looked from pig to man, and from man to pig again. But already it was impossible to say which was which.
And that is how a fairy story ends, in darkness. George Orwell wrote Animal Farm because he was furious that people in the West were ignoring the atrocities happening in the Soviet Union. He wanted to shatter the illusion of Stalin's utopia. But the brilliance of the novel, the reason you are studying it right now, is that it isn't just about 1917 or 1945. It's about human nature. It's a timeless blueprint of how tyrannies operate. Whenever you see a leader rewriting the truth, whenever you see the press acting as a megaphone for the powerful, whenever you see the working class exploited while the elite rewrite the rules, you are looking at Animal Farm. Orwell's masterpiece isn't just a history lesson, it's a warning system. And the alarm is still ringing. This audio lesson was brought to you by Director of Studies. If you enjoyed this content and want to master your exams, we have other premium, in-depth content where we cover themes, characters, and GCSE exam board specifics on our website, directorofstudies.com. Thanks for listening, keep your eyes open, and never let anyone tell you that 2 + 2 = 5. See you next time!